I saw in a video where Eric Johnson was talking about how he basically plays pentatonically, and sometimes he'll add the 9 and sometimes he'll add the 6. And I'm thinking, well, if you add a 9 and a 6 to a minor pentatonic scale, you're just playing a Dorian scale at that point. Pentatonic scale has 5 notes, and then if you add 2 more, well, now you have a full 7-note scale, complete with half steps and everything. But this is an idea that I was doing when I first started guitar because it's really easy. It's an easy idea, it's easy to implement, and the results sound great. The Eric Johnson modal hack, that's what we're doing today on Ray Plays Guitar. And we're going to do it as simply as possible. Let's get into it. So if you take that standard pentatonic pattern, minor pentatonic, here I'm playing starting on the 10th fret of the 6th string. That note is D, so I'm playing a D minor pentatonic. And Eric said he adds the 9, which is just the 2nd scale degree. 9 and 2 are the same. So here's a root. We're going to add the 9 right there, or the 2 right there. And there's our flatted third. So we have a root, 1, 2, and flatted third. The other note that he adds is the 6th. We're going to add that right here. Same fret as where the 9 wound up, but just on the 2nd string. This is our 5th scale degree. Here's our 6th, and there's our flatted 7th. So we're just adding this note and that note. Same fret, just on 2 different strings. Now if we add the flatted 5th into the equation, we get this sort of thing. We have 3 strings in a row where we're going like that. In this case, 10, 12, and 13. So let's try this idea out over a chord progression. We're going to do a D minor to a G, or G7. And this note right here, the 6th, on the 2nd string there, that sounds great over the G chord. You'll see what I mean. Let's check it out. Well, now let's try it out in more of a standard blues context. Let's keep it in the same key. I think we're going to play it in the same key. Yeah, blues and D. Now we're dealing with all dominant 7th chords. D7, G7, and then A7 would be our 5 chord. Again, this note works great over the 4 chord, the G7 chord. In fact, that's the 3rd of that chord. We can outline the entire G7 arpeggio right there. G, B, root 3rd, 5th, and flatted 7th. So that stuff works great over the 4 chord. This 9 works great over the 5 chord. It is the 5th of the 5 chord. Let me try and demonstrate that for you. So that's some Dorian examples of adding two notes. But what if we're playing minor blues? This doesn't work out so hot. When we're playing minor blues, let's go into the key of A now. The 1 chord would be A. The 4 chord would be D minor, which means this note of the D minor is here. We were adding the 6, so we're just going to make one adjustment in this instance. We're still going to keep the 9, or the 2, but instead of adding the 6, we're going to do the flat 6. So now we have a pattern where the 9 and the flatted 6 are on 2 different frets now. So when I go to the 4 chord in a minor blues context, I'm going to kind of target that note right there. So that puts us like in a natural minor kind of a thing. We can use that same pattern, those same notes in a major context if we just switch chords to the relative major. So we're playing an A minor. Now let's go to C major. So I'm gonna pop on a track that has it's a 4-1 and then a 6-5. I'm gonna be playing that same pattern right there that I was just doing over the minor blues. it's my Eric Johnson modal hack. If you have any questions or comments, please leave those below. If you found this video helpful, do me a favor. Hit that like button, share this video with your friends, subscribe to my YouTube channel, hit that notification bell. But most of all, thank you so much for hanging out with me today. We'll see you next time.